Pokemon. Easily one of the biggest pieces of media ever. I'm sure anyone who has played a video game has played a Pokemon game, which probably means you're interested in using a team in a Pokemon game that's both fun and powerful. But how do we accomplish that? Well, first, let's establish some things that will help us create the perfect team for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. First, the term fun is subjective, but what I consider fun is playing through a game that isn't too hard, but isn't easier than the atrocities that are easy as hell, Pokemon X and Y. I'm kidding, I love Pokemon X and Y, they're one of my favorite games, but my point is, playing through a Pokemon game where the battles last 2 million years isn't very fun, but battles that last 2 seconds because you have a legendary aren't the most fun either. So that's where the term most powerful comes in. We're going to balance the team by not having any HM slaves for the most part, trade evolutions, version exclusives, and legendaries to create a very fun and very powerful team for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. This means the team will be used to beat the 8 gym leaders, Elite Four, Champion, rival battles, and evil teams. Before I begin, this video is inspired by both Mystic Umbreon and Fugo, so massive shoutouts to them, and check out their best teams while you're at it. So, possibly the most important choice you will make in a Pokemon game is picking your starter. Now, my favorite Pokemon is Trico, but I still have to admit, Trico is a horrible option for Hoenn. It's the unfortunate truth. As anything grass beats, water will most likely beat, and it will beat it better, as the water typing is way more useful in this generation. Okay, but what about Blaziken? Well, Blaziken would be the best choice if the fire type was actually more useful in this generation. Water type is just way more useful, which obviously leaves us with the best starter, Mudkip. Swampert is a water ground type, which means it's only weak to the rare typing of grass. Swampert is incredible throughout the entire journey as it will be able to defeat the first gym, Team Magma's fire types, Evil Team's poison types, the third gym, Dig can be used to help with Norman, the fourth gym, the seventh gym, Drake's Flygon, and your rival's Magcargo. As for a moveset, as mentioned before, we aren't using any HM slaves, as I do believe that isn't very fun, as I especially see lots of people complaining when YouTubers are like, use an HM slave. But don't worry, we'll have another mod to make up for these HMs, so stay tuned for that. So, with that all out of the way, its moveset will be Surf, for obvious reasons, it's given to you right after you beat the 5th gym. Dive, again it's an HM required to beat the game, it's given to you after you beat the 7th gym. Waterfall, the final water HM given to you after you beat the 8th gym. I'd use Rain Dance, Ice Beam, and or Blizzard while you wait for this HM. I recommend Blizzard. And finally, Earthquake, which is a TM found right before you fight your box art legendary. Use Dig until you get this TM. So there you have it, the perfect starter Pokemon for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. But to be fair, you already knew that. So let's look at your actual team members. Okay, to be fair, who doesn't have this Pokemon on their team? Gardevoir is a must-have in Hoenn, at least in Noras. My hot take is that it isn't exactly all that great in earlier generations, but with its new fairy typing and mega evolution, oh my god, is it ever useful. Ralts can be found on Route 102 with a pretty low % encounter rate, but when you find it, you better catch it as it's super useful. Let's cover Gardevoir's final moveset real quick. We're going to be giving it Psychic for obvious stab and the occasional Pokemon weak to Psychic. This is learned via level up. Moonblast, a very powerful stab fairy move that you're going to want throughout the end of your journey. Use Calm Mind until then. Draining Kiss, this is here to make your life easier. It's just a stab move that regains your health, which is also learned via level up. Finally, there's Shadow Ball for coverage to deal with Phobie, and this TM is found on Mount Pyre. With these moves, Gardevoir is useful against the 2nd gym, the Evil Team's poison types, what known as Altaria, the 7th gym, Sydney, Phobie's team, Sableye your safest option, and Drake's team. So there you have it, the staple team member of Hoenn returns once again. Welcome to the team, Gardevoir. As soon as you reach Dewford, you're going to need to grab the Old Rod and catch Magikarp, because we're having 2 water types on the team. Trust me, I'm not crazy. With the insanely buffed EXP share, getting Gyarados is easier than ever, and it's a super fun mon to use thanks to its Mega. We're actually not going to have any stab moves on it, as that's what Swampert is here for. But what does the moveset look like? Well, to start, we have Dragon Dance, which is learned via level up at level 47. Dragon Dance is a super useful move for our physical attacker. Crunch, also learned via level up at level 41, is a move that will cover any Pokemon weak to the Dark type, which there is a whole Elite 4 member weak to Dark types. Use Bite until then. Ice Fang is learned at the low level of 32, and it covers the Grass type weakness that Swampert has. And finally, Dragon Tail. Unfortunately, this mon can't learn any flying moves, so we're going to have to give it Dragon Tail, which can be found at the Mauville City Pokemart. So with these moves, Gyarados can take care of Winona's flying types, including her Altaria using Ice Fang, Wallace's Wichicast using Ice Fang, Sydney's Shiftry using Ice Fang, Phoebe with Crunch, Glacia's Frostlass with Crunch, Drake with the Dragon moves, Steven's Claydol and Metagross with Crunch, and finally your rival's Sceptile. So an unexpected guest made the cut here. You'll definitely have a ton of fun with this mon on your team. Have fun and welcome aboard Gyarados. Of course, for the extra XP, before you actually take on Brawly, make sure to catch yourself a Makuhita, which will later become our 4th, technically 5th, I'll explain more later, member. Hariyama is a fighting type Pokemon, which is actually quite useful and basically a necessity in this region. Thanks a lot, Norman. So without wasting your time, here's its moveset. Bulk Up is a TM given to you legit shortly after you catch it. This will help boost your Hariyama even more in battle. Vital Throw, a powerful fighting move learned via level up that always hits and gets stronger as the game progresses, which is super satisfying. Rock Smash and Strength are 2 HMs given to you throughout the story, and we're giving these to Hariyama as it fills in its last slots and makes it that you don't need an HM slave. Using these moves, Hariyama can take on Watson's Magnemites and Magnetons, Norman's team, Wallace's CeeLo, Sydney, Glacia, Steven's Cradilla, and the evil team's Dark types. So there you have it, a super useful fighting type that will benefit us all over our journey in the Hoenn region. Thank you, Hariyama. For our next slot, we have the discharged Pokemon Manectric. Electrike can be found on Route 110 just after the second gym. It will become a Manectric at just level 26 and will be hella useful throughout the Waterfield region. Oh, and plus it has a Mega, so extra points. With Manectric's great stats, we're able to push it to its fullest potential with the moveset of Thunder Wave. It should have this as an Electrike. Paralyzing opponents is super useful, so we definitely want this. Thunderbolt, obtained after shutting off the generator for Watson. You can skip this one and just have Discharge instead, but if you want extra power, Thunderbolt is a TM you can get after obtaining Dive. Thunder, before the 7th gym, you can get Thunder in the Lily Cove department store. Overheat / Flamethrower. We don't have a fire move yet, so this is useful for the occasional grass, bug, and ice Pokemon you'll encounter. You'll get the Overheat TM from Flannery and the Flamethrower TM in Victory Road. With these moves, Manectric is good against the 6th gym, the 8th gym, any water types you encounter, Sydney's Sharpedo and Shiftry, Glacia's Walrein, Drake's Salamence, Steven's Skarmory, Team Aqua's water types, the evil team's Golbats, and finally your rivals Swellow, Wailord, and Sceptile. There you have it, a super useful, fast, and effective Electric-type Pokemon for your squad. Nice going, Manectric. And boom! Just like that, you have a team of 5. What? 5? Yeah, so while doing my planning for this video, I figured out there's really only 5 Pokemon you need to complete your ORAS journey. This is perfect for a most fun team because we obviously want the viewer to have some sort of choice in their team. So really, you guys can pick whatever last slot you want. My recommendation though is actually before you even get your first gym badge. Now preferably you're going to want a flyer since we don't have one, and Taillow can be found on Route 104 and Swellow is super fun. I recently used Swellow in an Emerald playthrough and it was my favorite Pokemon to use. So here's a moveset that I think you all will really enjoy. Fly, for obvious reasons, and Stab. Return, the Goat Stab normal move obtained in Pacific Logtown. Roost, a healing move obtained just after you beat Winona. Double Team learned via level up, and that helps make battles more interesting. So with these moves, Swellow can be an asset to the second gym, any grass/bug types you encounter, such as your rival Sapphire, and it's of course your Flymon. Thanks for the travel, Swellow. So there you have it, a viable, easy to get, super fun, super powerful Pokemon team for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I chose these games as they're my personal favorite, and they were the games that introduced me to the series. If you guys are interested in another game, I'm 100% happy to make that video for you. Just comment down below and subscribe so you don't miss when I post it. This was my first video. I plan on doing commentary type videos like this on games like Pokemon and Minecraft. So if you're into that, make sure to subscribe. But before I go, here's a little guide/list on what you can do to follow this video the next time you play through Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So of course to start, you will get your starter Pokemon Mudkip, then you will get Ralt and Taillow before beating the first gym. Then when you head to Dewford, you will catch Magikarp and Makuhita before beating the second gym and obtaining Bulk Up. Then you will catch Electrike on Route 110 before beating the third gym and getting Dragon Tail, Rock Smash, and Strength. Then you will get Dig before challenging the fourth gym and then immediately challenge the fifth gym where you will receive Surf shortly after. Then after fighting your rival before the sixth gym, you will get the Fly HM. Then you'll fight the sixth gym and obtain Roost from it. Then you'll get Shadow Ball, Blizzard, and Thunder all before the seventh gym. Then you'll get Dive, Return, Thunderbolt, and Earthquake all before the eighth gym. And then get Waterfall and beat the Elite Four and Champion. And there you go. You've completed Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire using our guide. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.